Hi, I'm Andrew Wasson. Thanks for tuning in to my weekly guitar blog. It's December 16th, 2012, and this week we're going to run through classic rock blues guitar licks. And this question was sent in by Paul M. He's out in St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada, and his email to me went as follows. For the past few weeks, I've been trying to make some soloing ideas in the style of classic rock blues. My totally favorite player right now is Jimmy Page. So I was wondering, is there any way that you could make a lesson showing how licks like his work in this style? I'm thinking along the lines of what you'd consider as good tips when it comes to making guitar licks sound classic. Thanks for all the vids from Paul M. in St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada. Well, thanks for writing in, Paul. You know, when it comes to classic rock blues, your interest in Jimmy Page is without a doubt one of the particular people who certainly established a great collection of unique and classic pentatonic scale sounds in many legendary hits by Led Zeppelin. But these sounds were also ones dating as far back from as early on as the days of Howlin Wolfe, Wray, and even Elvis Presley. So let's not waste any time. We'll zoom in on the neck and just jump right into learning some guitar licks that fit into this classic sound. In the examples I've put together, I'll be focusing upon the minor pentatonic scale in the key signature of E minor. Since a large number of these classic licks operate out of the one popular scale pattern shape I just played, you'll very likely recognize the pattern of note layout right away. In my first lick, I'm keeping the phrase tight by starting and ending upon the tonal center note of E. So here's what example number 1 sounds like. So, as I'm sure you noticed, along with a double stop within the second beat, this lick has some passing notes found on the 4th and 5th guitar strings. And, when you couple that with the situation of the first and last notes being the key center's tonal note, E notes in other words, it really ties the melodic line of the lick together. So all in all, it's a nice sounding classic rock lick to add into your repertoire. Now in my next example, I'm going to go for a very classic intro on this lick, the sound of which I'm positive you probably heard before. And along with that, this lick also contains another classic idea, the bend, release, pull off technique. So without any more delay, here's example number 2. And one other thing about this lick that I'm sure you notice is how it misses the downbeat into the phrase, and once again, just like lick number 1, it resolves upon the tonal center note of E. So we go into the lick going 1 E and like that, 16th notes, 1 E and so you miss the downbeat. But it's really those first 3 beats that gives the lick its classic rock blues connection. Great one right there. Now anyway, moving on to lick number 3. I've taken a little bit different approach with this line's resolution. This time I'm targeting the minor third of the key, which for us here is going to wind up being the 10th fret, 5th string G note. So here's what example number 3 sounds like. So in lick number 3, I've also left position slightly with that resolution to the 5th string 10th fret G note. This, as I'm sure you noticed, was accomplished with a backward slide on the 5th string, which placed the fretboard hand into that new position. Now the bend on our first beat, coupled with that descending run into our minor third G note, really gives us a true to form, almost Jimmy Page-like sound on this third example of classic rock blues lick. Okay, now wrapping up with my 4th and final example, as I'm sure some of you have been thinking, what's a discussion on classic rock licks without a repetitive lick? So I'm just going to show what I consider to be one of the most common of these repetitive style licks. It's a bend and pull off concept that once you hear it, I'm quite positive you'll certainly agree it is a classic. So here's what example number 4 sounds like. When it comes to classic rock blues guitar licks, there's a long list of bands like The Who, MC5, The Stooges, Gene Vincent's The Blues Caps, and many others who've had guitar players that had a unique way of hammering out interesting ideas with the pentatonic and blues scales. Now these licks have become used and reused over the last 60 some odd years to form the sound for armies of new rock bands, still employing many of these same guitar licks and runs up till today. So perhaps begin with the licks that I've sorted out here in the video, and then most certainly carry on with your studies by lifting other cool licks and runs from the archives of classic songs and old-time rock players who've influenced us with many years of this very cool classic rock blues guitar sound. Anyway, once again, that's about all the time I have for today. As always, thanks for watching. Have yourself a great week, and I'll catch up with you next time. Bye for now.